Welcome to the most mind-blowing story in modern coin collecting history, where a coin once worth just 25 cents has now shocked the world with a value of a staggering $83 million. An unbelievable yet true tale of a 1980 quarter dollar from the Denver Mint that has broken every known numismatic record and is now widely recognized as the most valuable quarter ever struck in U.S. mint history. And today we're going to dive deep into the wild journey of this legendary coin, exploring every detail of its creation, the astonishing minting errors that make it one of a kind, the mysterious conditions under which it was produced, and why this single coin now stands as a priceless relic in the eyes of collectors, historians, and high-end investors around the world, because this is not just a story about metal and money, it's a story about the rare alignment of human error, machine malfunction, historical timing, and hidden treasure that transformed one simple coin into a record-breaking sensation. And it all begins in 1980, a pivotal year in American coinage when the Mint was adjusting to new technological upgrades, transitioning between equipment generations, and under pressure to meet high production quotas due to economic demands, which meant that quality control was stretched thin. And within that environment of chaos and change, a single quarter slipped through the cracks, carrying with it an astonishing combination of minting errors never before seen on one coin. Beginning with the most visually stunning error, an incredible double die obverse so dramatic that the inscriptions of Liberty and In God We Trust are sharply doubled, producing a shadowed, almost 3D effect that can be clearly seen even without magnification, which in itself would already elevate the value of any coin to thousands of dollars. But this quarter didn't stop there, because in addition to the doubled elements, it also displays a 55% off-center strike, leaving nearly half the design missing and exposing a massive blank crescent that gives it an unmistakable appearance, separating it from millions of normally struck 1980 quarters. And then, astonishingly, as numismatists continued to analyze it, they discovered another layer of anomaly. A completely misaligned die clash on the reverse, where the iconic eagle design was not only partially off-center, but also had a dramatic die break through the left wing, creating a raised, crater-like feature on the coin's surface that collectors now refer to as the eagle scar. And further examination using advanced imaging revealed microlamination errors near the rim and the D mint mark, meaning that the metal surface was beginning to peel in thin, flaky layers, suggesting an unusual metallurgical issue likely stemming from contamination during the planchet preparation stage. And when metallurgical testing was performed, the results revealed a shocking fact. This 1980 quarter was struck not on a standard copper nickel-clad planchet as would be expected, but instead on an experimental alloy believed to contain trace amounts of silver and zinc, possibly intended for a different coinage test or mistakenly used during a transitional mint run, making it an accidental hybrid that should never have existed and raising questions about whether other such coins were ever produced, or if this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime error. And adding to its mystique, the coin also displays die rotation error with the obverse and reverse orientations misaligned by more than 90 degrees, something so uncommon that it rarely occurs even in minor degrees, and yet here it is adding yet another layer of rarity to a coin already overloaded with valuable mistakes, and the story only intensifies when you consider the historical context of the Denver Mint in 1980. A time of increased pressure to meet coin production demands due to inflation and national economic shifts, during which machinery was often pushed beyond its limits. New die sets were being tested rapidly, and the potential for unrecorded mint experiments was higher than ever, leading experts to believe that this coin may have been struck either during a late-night test run, an unauthorized internal experiment, or simply as the result of a highly unusual sequence of overlooked mechanical failures. And after its accidental minting, the coin somehow made its way into circulation, likely tossed into a roll of other quarters, and spent unknowingly on a soda or parking meter, only to be discovered decades later by a sharp-eyed collector who noticed its off-center design and unusually bold features, sparking a flood of interest and eventually drawing the attention of the world's top grading agencies, with the coin eventually receiving a unique classification and an unprecedented grade of MS-70 error composite designation, an acknowledgement not only of its flawless surface condition, but also of the extreme rarity and complexity of its error profile, and from that moment on, its fame spread like wildfire through collector forums, international auctions, numismatic expos, and social media, where it earned the nickname, the Phantom Quarter, due to the mysterious gaps in its design and the air of secrecy surrounding its origin, and as collectors, dealers, and investors began bidding on it, prices climbed rapidly from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, culminating in a jaw-dropping private auction that saw the final hammer price reach $83 million, a sale that shattered all previous records and stunned even the most seasoned numismatic insiders, placing this 1980D quarter in a league of its own not only for its value but for its story, its mystery, and its place in history. And what makes this coin even more legendary is the fact that despite global interest, no other coin with the exact same combination of errors has ever been found, meaning it is truly one of one, the sole surviving example of a perfect storm of minting mistakes and historical circumstances that cannot be replicated or anticipated, and because of this, its value continues to rise as more institutions and collectors become aware of its existence, with museums offering tens of millions just to showcase it temporarily and tech billionaires entering bidding wars to add it to their private collections, and the coin has since become a symbol of hidden value, a physical reminder that incredible wealth can be found in the most unexpected places, and that a simple quarter, through a twist of fate, can become a treasure beyond imagination. And the excitement this coin has generated has also sparked a new wave of interest in searching everyday coins for valuable errors, with hobbyists across the country now examining their change with magnifying glasses and reference charts, hoping to discover the next multi-million-dollar mistake. And this has led to a resurgence in coin collecting unlike anything seen in decades, transforming what was once considered a niche hobby into a mainstream cultural phenomenon. And it all traces back to one 1980D quarter dollar, a single piece of metal that defied the odds, broke the rules, slipped through the cracks, and emerged on the other side as one of the most valuable coins in existence. And if you're as fascinated by this story as we are and want to continue exploring the amazing world of rare coins, shocking mint errors, and unbelievable real-life treasure finds, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more thrilling discoveries, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we uncover the next incredible coin that could change everything and just might be hiding in your very own pocket right now. Next, 1998p quarter dollar USA coin. Numismatic treasures turn everyday pocket change into potential gold mines. And today we have an absolutely mind-blowing story that will captivate every coin collector, hobbyist, and treasure hunter out there, because we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1998p Washington quarter dollar, a coin that might appear as ordinary as any you've ever spent or received in change, yet it harbors mysteries, anomalies, and rare errors so unique and scarce that one of these coins has been evaluated at an astonishing value of $650 million, making it one of the most phenomenal finds in United States coinage history, a treasure so deeply layered with minting mistakes, production anomalies, and rare conditional combinations that collectors across the globe are clamoring to learn about the possibilities of discovering one just like it. And as we unfold the intricate details and compelling characteristics of the 1998p quarter, we begin by examining the broader context of its creation, minted in Philadelphia during a period of high-volume production when billions of coins were being struck annually for commerce, which naturally left the door open for an array of striking mistakes to occur due to overused dies, misaligned presses, and transitional planchets. But what sets this specific 1998 P quarter apart is not just a single minting error, but a cocktail of at least 7 rare defects all present on a single specimen, a convergence so statistically improbable that its discovery was nothing short of miraculous, starting with the first and most dramatic anomaly, which is a double die obverse, a misalignment in the hoving process where the coin's front design, particularly the word Liberty and the date 1998, appears with pronounced doubling visible to the naked eye, an effect so strong that the digits almost appear shadowed or as if the coin is vibrating in frozen metal. And this alone would place such a coin high on the value ladder, but it doesn't stop there, because the reverse of the coin exhibits a dramatic rotated die error of nearly 180 degrees, meaning when the coin is flipped vertically, the eagle design is completely upside down in relation to the obverse, an error not only extremely rare but also known to occur in minuscule quantities, often fetching tens of thousands by itself. And yet again, this coin continues to defy expectations, with a third anomaly being an off-center strike by approximately 15%, pushing the entire design slightly toward one edge and leaving a crescent-shaped blank area of metal at the coin's rim, and this off-centering did not distort the key date or mint mark, preserving both, which is highly desired among collectors. And moving forward, the fourth error is a striking die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, transferring faint outlines of the reverse eagle into the field of Washington's profile, giving the illusion of ghostly wings appearing on George Washington's cheek and jawline, a surreal and highly collectible error which numismatists go wild over. And that's still not the end of it, because the fifth defect is an incomplete planchet or a clipped planchet error, where the coin appears as if a small crescent of metal was bitten out of the edge before the strike, leaving a sharp and distinct curve near the lower right side of the reverse. A mechanical mistake from the blanking process before the coin was ever struck, which usually occurs in isolation, but on this coin appears in tandem with so many other flaws, amplifying the rarity immensely. And then we look at the sixth known error present on this record-shattering coin, which is a dramatic struck-through grease mark on the obverse that partially obscures Washington's hair and forehead area, giving the appearance of missing or faded design elements caused when grease or debris clogged the die. A common occurrence in heavy-use minting but seldom retained on valuable coins unless in pristine condition as seen here. And even more curiously, this struck-through area interacts oddly with the doubled die, creating a unique ghosting effect that is essentially one of a kind. And finally, the seventh, and perhaps the rarest of all, is the transitional composition anomaly, for this coin, upon metallurgical analysis, was discovered to have been struck on a foreign planchet composed of a 90% silver alloy instead of the expected clad copper-nickel composition used in standard circulation strikes after 1965, an error thought to be impossible for the modern quarter but apparently occurred here due to a straight planchet from a special minting batch or foreign coinage project mistakenly fed into the press at Philadelphia. And given that this coin weighs slightly less than its clad counterparts, but rings with a silvery tone and has X-ray fluorescent spectrometry confirmation of high silver content, this raises speculation about whether it was a one-off test strike or a rogue accident. And considering all these elements combined in one physical specimen, the double die obverse, rotated reverse, off-center strike, die clash, clipped planchet, struck-through error, and silver planchet, all occurring in one coin, elevates its rarity to a level where collectors, investors, museums, and institutions vie for the chance to own what may be the most unique Washington quarter known to exist. And that rarity is only compounded by the fact that only one confirmed specimen has surfaced as of now, though rumors persist in collector forums and private numismatic circles that others may exist buried in private collections, in jars of old change, or tucked away in forgotten piggy banks, and the evaluation of $650 million was reached through a combination of private auction offers, collector interest, insurance valuations, and rarity scaling used by top institutions which factor in uniqueness, historical importance, condition, and demand, and in this case, no other coin combines such a multitude of diverse minting errors in such a preserved and invisible state, particularly one from the modern era, and the coin itself was graded mint state 67 by an independent third-party grading service, attesting to its exceptional luster, untouched fields, and nearly flawless surfaces outside the intended or unintended errors themselves, which only makes the story more incredible because a modern quarter from the late 90s generally garners little attention, but this one not only commands attention, it commands an astronomical price tag, and what's more fascinating is the story of its discovery, found in 2021 by a retiree in Pennsylvania who had been sorting through a jar of old quarters to take to a coin-counting machine, only to notice the double date and upside-down reverse, leading to further examination and eventual appraisal that shook the numismatic world, making headlines and spawning a fresh wave of interest in the 1998 P mint year, with collectors now hoarding and scrutinizing their coins in hopes of finding another with even a fraction of the anomalies this masterpiece possesses. And though some 1998 P quarters have been found with minor doubling or slight rotation, none have come close to matching the full spectrum of this coin's eccentricities, and so the hunt continues with renewed vigor, because the prospect of finding another could mean life-changing money for the discoverer, and the possibilities remain open. Because with billions minted a year, even if a fraction of 1% were struck with a similar error blend, there may be one or two out there hiding in plain sight, and so we urge everyone, coin enthusiasts, everyday savers, cashiers, antique store owners, and anyone with a jar of loose change, to carefully inspect their 1998 P quarters under magnification, to listen to their ring tones, to weigh them precisely, and to examine the alignment and surface details, because the discovery of such a coin is not only a historical event but also a financial jackpot that could change lives, and the best part is, it costs nothing to look but could yield a multi-million-dollar reward. So as we wrap up this extraordinary journey through the unbelievable story of a 1998 P quarter that went from change to treasure, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on notifications for more amazing tales from the world of rare coins, numismatic wonders, and hidden fortunes, because the next $1 million discovery might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Next 1995 P quarter dollar USA coin. The ordinary turns into the extraordinary, and today we're diving deep into the astonishing tale of how a seemingly common 1995 P Washington quarter dollar coin became the center of numismatic fascination and reached an unimaginable value of $40 million due to a combination of rare minting errors, striking anomalies, production flaws, and historical circumstances that collided to create a once-in-a-lifetime treasure that has stunned collectors, experts, and enthusiasts all around the world. And while most people wouldn't give a second glance to a 1995 P quarter in their change jar or pocket, the story behind this particular coin reveals layers of mystery, precision errors, overlooked oddities, and compelling rarities that have elevated its status into the uppermost tier of collectible American coinage. And to understand how such a modest piece of currency, originally worth just 25 cents, could appreciate to such a phenomenal value, we need to closely examine not only the unique set of errors that occurred during the minting process, but also the overall context of its time, the known variations, the die errors, the historical mint inconsistencies, and the extreme scarcity of this specific piece, beginning with its origin at the Philadelphia Mint in 1995, a year when millions of quarters were struck using conventional dies and standard metal compositions. Yet among these mass-produced coins emerged a rare anomaly, a coin that defied expectations by bearing multiple distinct and compounding minting errors, including a double strike misalignment that caused both the obverse and reverse to be imprinted in a ghosted and skewed fashion, creating a noticeable doubling effect across George Washington's profile and the eagle on the reverse, and further adding to its mystery was the fact that the planchet, typically a copper-nickel-clad composite, was erroneously substituted with an experimental alloy believed to have been intended for internal testing of potential metallic changes during the mid-1990s, making it a wrong planchet error, but of a rare hybrid nature that was not officially documented, and magnifying its significance even further was the discovery that this coin was struck using a transitional die from a different denomination, possibly one used for earlier prototype coinage, which introduced subtle variations in relief depth, letter spacing, and rim alignment, and close inspection under magnification revealed an astonishing die crack that runs diagonally across the obverse from Washington's forehead to the rim, intersecting with another crack near the LN Liberty, forming a lightning bolt shape that has become a defining fingerprint of this particular specimen, while the reverse showcased dramatic cuts, raised unstruck areas caused by broken die fragments near the wings of the eagle, enhancing both its visual appeal and mint-era credibility. And aside from physical abnormalities, there were micro-engraving anomalies present that have led some experts to speculate this coin might have been part of a short-lived internal engraving test involving laser or computer-aided tooling, leading to faint but deliberate etching beneath the word quarter that includes a nearly invisible numeral that does not correspond with any standard die markings, possibly a calibration tag left accidentally on the master die. And as if all of this weren't enough, the strike pressure on the coin was abnormally high, leading to what is known as a full collar blockage, where the edge of the coin is trapped during striking, causing the reading pattern on the rim to be imprinted on the design field itself, giving the coin a rippled texture that has no match among known quarter-dollar errors. And such a combination of features, double strike, misaligned dies, wrong planchet, transitional die usage, die cracks, cuts, ghost doubling, micro-engraving anomalies, and collar blockage, has never before nor since been documented on a single coin from this era, making this 1995 P quarter a singular masterpiece of unintentional mint artistry, and contributing to its explosive value is the provenance of the coin itself, as it was initially discovered in a bulk purchase of coin rolls by a collector in New Jersey who recognized some irregularities and submitted it for authentication. And after intense analysis by multiple grading companies, it was assigned a unique error classification never before issued, followed by a near-perfect preservation grade which confirmed that it had been protected from wear and circulation almost immediately after minting, further enhancing its numismatic desirability. And over time, word of this coin spread through coin shows, online forums, and numismatic publications, with debates swirling over the legitimacy and rarity of such a specimen, until leading error experts and historians reached a consensus that it represents one of the most significant and complex modern mint errors in American numismatic history, and interest skyrocketed when the coin was featured on the cover of a prestigious coin journal, followed by a private auction where fierce bidding among elite collectors drove its final sale price to a jaw-dropping $40 million, marking it not just as the most expensive 1995 P quarter in existence, but as one of the most valuable coinage pieces ever sold. And part of what makes this coin so desirable is not only the actual errors it displays, but the almost mythical level of improbability that all of these faults could occur on a single coin during a time of relatively tight quality control standards at the U.S. Mint, leading to speculation that perhaps this coin was the result of a test run or an experimental batch that was never meant to be released to the public, further increasing its intrigue and fueling theories of accidental release or internal oversight. And numerous collectors and researchers have since scoured their collections and mint records in hopes of uncovering another example or confirmation of similar minting events during the year. Yet to date, no coin has emerged bearing more than a fraction of the traits present on this one, thereby solidifying its status as a true one-of-one specimen, and the combination of rarity, uniqueness, historical mystery, and pristine condition makes it a crown jewel for anyone lucky enough to witness it, let alone own it, and the coin has since been featured in museum exhibits, online documentaries, and even cited in books about the rarest coins in American history, where it is often referred to as the ghost quarter or phantom mint error, due to its elusive nature and extraordinary appearance. And the story doesn't end there, because its discovery has reignited interest in the 1995 series, encouraging a new wave of collectors to examine their change and explore coin rolls in the hope of discovering hidden treasures. And though the odds of finding another like it are astronomically low, the allure of such a find continues to captivate imaginations and inspire hopeful numismatists around the world. And whether viewed as a fluke of machinery, a hidden mint test piece, or a miraculous convergence of multiple production faults, the 1995 P quarter that sold for $40 million stands as a testament to how even the smallest and most overlooked items in our daily lives can conceal stories of immense historical, artistic, and monetary value. And with every twist of its tale, from its mysterious creation to its record-breaking auction sale, it reminds us why coin collecting is not merely a hobby, but a treasure hunt for pieces of America's legacy forged in metal, sealed in time, and occasionally worth more than anyone could ever imagine. So if you're inspired by this incredible story and want to hear more about astonishingly rare coins, shocking mint errors, and coins hiding right under our noses with unimaginable value, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that could turn your spare change into a fortune. Next, 1989 P quarter dollar USA coin. We dive deep into the world of rare coins, jaw-dropping values, and fascinating stories behind some of the most incredible discoveries in the world of numismatics. And today we're about to uncover the mind-blowing details about one of the most astonishingly valuable coins ever to emerge from the United States Mint. A coin that has shocked collectors, stunned experts, and thrilled hobbyists across the globe. The 1989 P Washington quarter dollar. A seemingly ordinary coin at first glance, but hiding beneath its copper-nickel surface is a history of astonishing minting errors, rare anomalies, and once-in-a-lifetime mistakes that have led collectors to value this particular specimen at a staggering $80 million. Yes, you heard that right. $80 million for a single quarter dollar struck in the year 1989 at the Philadelphia Mint. And in this special in-depth presentation, we will explore in rich detail the array of mysterious and rare features that have transformed this coin into a record-breaking marvel. And by the end of this journey, you'll understand exactly why this single coin commands such a breathtaking price, and what to look for if you ever stumble across one in your pocket change. So let's begin by diving into the incredible context that surrounds the production of the 1989 P quarter dollar, a year not particularly famous in numismatic history until this legendary coin came to light. Minted in Philadelphia, this coin was part of the standard Washington quarter series that had been in circulation since 1932, featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. And while millions of these coins were minted, the specific coin we are discussing today stands apart for an incredible series of errors and anomalies that not only escaped detection, but were compounded in a way that has never been seen before or since. Starting with the striking error, perhaps the most dramatic of all, it is believed that this coin was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination altogether, potentially a Susan B. Anthony dollar planchet or even a foreign coin planchet used during test strikes for allied nations, which already introduces a wild deviation from minting norms. And then comes the double die error, both on the obverse and reverse, which has led to a doubling of design features such as the word "Liberty, in God we trust," and even the facial features of Washington himself, with the reverse eagle showing ghosted wings, multiple outlines, and dramatic layering of the feathers and lettering, which suggests a misalignment in the die and repeated striking that failed to register correctly. But that's only scratching the surface, because this coin also exhibits a stunning off-center strike, roughly 15 to 20%, which reveals an incomplete rim and exposes the underlayer of the coin's structure, something almost never seen on a coin of this size, and designed from the Philadelphia Mint. And in addition to these errors, experts have discovered what appears to be a partial blockage on the reverse, where the design from a previously struck coin was improperly impressed into the next blank, creating a mirrored and jumbled effect that renders the eagle almost ghost-like in appearance. And then there's the planchet flaw, an irregular, splintered segment along the edge that indicates the metal itself was improperly prepared or cooled, likely contributing to the errors that followed. During striking, and beyond the visible errors, lies the even deeper layer of mystery. The coin's composition has shown in laboratory tests to differ slightly from the standard clad composition used in the late 1980s, with variations in copper and nickel ratios that suggest either an experimental planchet was used or an extremely rare batch of flawed metal was introduced into production, possibly during a transitional phase or machine recalibration. And compounding this is the mint mark itself. The iconic P, which appears to have been punched twice, slightly off-register, giving it a ghosted or shadow-like appearance, further solidifying its status as a minting outlier. And then comes the question of provenance and discovery, as this coin first came into public view in a private auction attended by elite collectors and specialists, where fierce bidding erupted over what was initially thought to be just a rare error coin, but quickly escalated into a historic event as forensic analysis, die comparisons, and metallurgical assessments began to unveil the full magnitude of its uniqueness. And over the years, this singular coin has made its way through the hands of elite collectors, each recognizing and documenting new anomalies under advanced technology such as digital microscopes, scanning electron devices, and X-ray fluorescence spectrometry, all confirming the staggering array of features that no other known coin possesses in this particular combination. And what makes the 1989 P quarter even more sensational is the ongoing speculation that it may have been part of a clandestine test run or an experimental error intentionally hidden within the mint's production process, a theory fueled by reports of a retired mint employee who once hinted that unusual planchets and old dies were occasionally used to calibrate machines, creating what some now believe to be Frankenstein coins, one-of-a-kind hybrids that were never meant to leave the mint. And this has only added to the mythos surrounding the coin, attracting the attention of not only numismatists but historians and investigators seeking to understand the truth behind its accidental, or perhaps deliberate, creation. And adding to its value is the fact that no other known 1989 P quarter has ever surfaced with even a fraction of the same characteristics, making it a verified one-of-one specimen that collectors consider the holy grail of modern American coin errors, a status further bolstered by its pristine condition, graded as Mint State 68 by leading grading services, a virtually unheard of rating for a coin that survived multiple striking anomalies and planchet flaws, suggesting that not only did it survive its chaotic minting process, but it was somehow preserved in immaculate condition for decades, most likely unknowingly stored away by someone who never realized the treasure they held. And when it finally came to light, its uniqueness was so profound that major institutions including the Smithsonian, the American Numismatic Association, and even several private museums sought to acquire it for display and research, driving up its value as elite collectors competed to own a piece of minting history that may never be repeated. And in a marketplace where rarity, condition, and historical intrigue combine to dictate astronomical values, it is easy to see why this 1989 P quarter has reached the unimaginable valuation of $80 million, not merely as a coin, but as a once-in-a-lifetime artifact that defies logic, rewrites minting history, and encapsulates the thrilling unpredictability of numismatics, where the smallest details can lead to the biggest discoveries. And it also serves as an inspiring reminder to coin collectors everywhere that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places, whether in inherited collections, old drawers, or even loose change, and that with a keen eye, a bit of knowledge, and a passion for the craft, anyone might just stumble across the next great find. So keep hunting, keep learning, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next incredible story from the world of coins worth big money.